Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca. The information on the decks and the dice will be below. Other than that, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching. Let's go ahead and get into your selection. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Scorpio? It's looking good so far. A lot of energy here. A lot of, well, something good is coming. It may freak you out, though. Okay. Are you sure you want this? This is a challenge. Whatever's coming forward, it's really good, but it seems to be a challenge to accept it. You're used to certain things. There's something here in your life that you're very used to, like, this is how it works. There's some type of, I want to say restriction. I feel like you might refer to it as a boundary, but the difference between a boundary and a restriction is like, a restriction is holding you back. If you're looking at a restriction as a boundary, you're thinking, no, this is like something that keeps me safe. So there's something here. There's a challenge coming up. There's a challenge to a boundary / restriction here. Questioning, like, is this a boundary that's saving you? Or is this a boundary that's holding you back? It reminds me of, like, what are they called? Survival mechanisms? I don't know if that's the right term for that. Where you learn something, you learn to stay away from something or to handle something a certain way. And while life isn't going that well, it may be the better way to do it. So it's almost like, you know, growing up, if you grew up in a family that was very toxic, you learned maybe to keep certain aspects of your life very private and secretive because that way they couldn't hurt you. But now that you've gotten maybe older and you've moved on from that, you've become overly secretive, and certain things, instead of helping you by keeping them to yourself, are actually causing damage. That's an example. Take that with a grain of salt. There's a certain way of life you've learned, and you've protected yourself. And when it started, it was valid and it served you. It's just something that over time has actually, it's like it's twisted around, and instead of working in your favor, it's working against you. Possibility is here. Ooh, these are, I didn't realize what they were until just now. You got a lot of good cards, but it's kind of like, is it worth going for? Information coming in, something could lock in here and go the distance. Could be business, could be pleasure, could be romance, could be. This card's here. So it doesn't have to be romance, but whatever this is, it means a lot to you. And I feel like this is also a situation that does make you nervous. I feel like it does make you nervous. Am I? Yeah, okay. Because you've gotten very used to being free. Very used to being free with the Nine of Pentacles. Doing things your way, having some certain type of freedom. It could be, maybe you're a person that doesn't get too deep in relationships because you like to stay free. Could be a situation where you don't get too deep in business situations because you like to be a free agent. Something like that. Maybe something, some people, like the majority of their friends are acquaintances because they don't want to get too deep with that because they don't want to get burned with those type of things. What is this card? I feel like if that's hitting with that High Priestess energy here, don't get caught up in the gender, just whatever matches for you. you're probably aware of that. That you're a free agent in whatever situation this is, and you're like, yeah, and I choose to. That may be how you feel about it. Like, yeah, I know that. I choose to be. Like, yeah. Something's coming forward though. Because whatever this situation is, it's also, even though you're a free agent in this situation, it's never linked in correctly. It's never hit that sweet spot for you. It's never hit that point where you're like, this is exactly what I want it to be. Unless, because I could keep seeing this example. So, like, I can think of somebody, I don't want to give too much. So, if you were, for example, maybe you had a high school romance that you married that person, and that was the last time you thought you had a great romance, and then that person did something that was a very deep betrayal. And when that relationship ended, because of the betrayal that person committed towards you, since then you might be a free agent. That might be one example. Could be something like that. Because there's an opportunity coming forward with the Sun card and the Mystic Healer. The chance to really dig in, the Ace of Pentacles showing up, information coming in, you could end up very deeply rooted into something. I feel like this makes me very nervous. Very, very, very nervous. It's a beautiful moment. There's a lot of healing here, but like, I feel like I have a lot of nerves about this because it's like, I love it, and at the same time, it's freaking me out. I feel vulnerable. I feel elated. I feel happy. I feel terrified. I feel all this coming in all at once. Boom. There's a possibility here. Revisiting the past. The Eight of Wands with the Six of Cups. It's revisiting the past. I know that, but like, because it's like, it feels like it's movement is what we're going for with the Eight of Wands. It's speed sometimes, granted, but where are you going? Letting yourself think about it is hard. That's the Hermit card reversed. By not letting yourself think about it, it showed up in like, be careful. What's going to cause a lot of stress is you not digging deep and figuring out what happened. That's going to make it even worse. But if you're letting yourself get into it, therapy is a good idea. There's online resources like betterhelp.com. I'm a big fan of Paul McKenna, How to Mend Your Broken Heart, or whatever. If you see any titles there, I recommend trying that. But there's like somehow of like digging into like what happened and seeing different aspects of it and realizing whatever that came from is its own situation, and assigning it to the people connected to that situation versus the people coming into your situation now. It's hard, but I get like, you definitely have it in your wheelhouse to do it. Having some people support you through it might be easier to do, might make it a lot more pleasant as it's going to be. You know, breaking through, making that breakthrough, well, you'll be able to have this and keep this. But it's making the breakthrough. But for you, it's choosing. You'll find it. If you decide you're going to do it, you'll do it. You'll make it. You'll be all right. But it has to be an active thought, an active choice on your part. Once you choose to do it, you'll find a way to make it happen. If you want this to actually happen, if you want this beautiful moment, you want it to come in and stay, that's the avenue they're saying would get you there. The dragon there, that's interesting. It's a very positive card, but I'm noticing like the way it looks. It's like the dragon with the treasure here. I have to deal with the dragon, and it's just very fitting with the Chariot card coming up against this dragon. The dragon actually isn't looking for a fight, is what I'm getting, which doesn't make sense for a normal dragon energy, but I get whatever this is. The dragon isn't looking for a fight, but something has to happen to deal with the dragon energy. you can go forward and you can make this work. The support is there. Finding what it is and dismantling whatever's holding you back as much as realistically possible, and finding different ways to handle old situations so that it doesn't hold you back from the future that you actually want. That's here. A lot of information coming your way. There's a lot of support with this situation. There's the ability to be a lot happier than you have been probably in quite a while. The possibility is here. It is definitely here. You could definitely do it. You would definitely have what it takes to succeed with this. I don't feel like it's a 5-minute fix. Sometimes I just feel like I need to say that to people. Not that you would buy that anyway if I did say, oh yeah, you just smile and nod and everything will be great. Yay. No. Scorpio is usually way more realistic than that, in my opinion. Once you start the journey, it's just the hardest part is to start it. I just feel like the hardest part is to start it. And then it's piece by piece working on it as you move forward. Once you start the journey, I also feel like it's kind of like, I feel like I have this energy where I'm like, well, I've gone this far. I'm not going to give up now. I've gotten this far. I'm not going to give up now. I feel like I have that energy at my back. I don't know why that's there. I don't know if that's normal or not for your situation. But I also feel like there's also this interesting balance of like, after I start it, every time I like make a little progress, I feel the relief. I feel that rejuvenating rain, and it feels a little bit better. And I feel like I know that I'm making headway on this situation, and it's getting better, and I'm actually getting what I want, and I'm feeling more safe with the situation. So it's almost like, if I'm going to use that analogy of like a romantic analogy, like you had somebody you met in high school, you got married after high school, and then they did a major betrayal, and after that relationship ended, it was hard for you to love anybody again or trust anybody again due to that level of betrayal. Working through these things, it's kind of like I'm assigning it to that person, but also I'm finding ways to like feel more confident about my current relationship, having things like, this is what I can do to like build the confidence, like, is this relationship safe? Do I have to worry about this, that, or the other thing? What can I do to make sure that, the person I'm with now isn't going to pull a fast one like the other one did, who I believed in? And I feel like I'm learning ways to like spot red flags and be aware of things and keep an eye on things to where I don't feel like I'm vulnerable, but still feeling like I can trust without feeling like I'm super vulnerable. Super vulnerable. It's a learning situation. I also see like, I don't see, again, it's not going to be a 5-minute fix. Again, I also don't think you'd believe me if I said it was, which good for you. It's going to keep progressing. It's going to kind of like, whatever the situation is, it doesn't have to be romance. I know I keep giving that analogy, but I do keep seeing this. That's why it keeps popping in my head, in case you're wondering why that Lover's card keeps showing up. It could be anything. It could be business, whatever. But I get that there's going to be moments here where I just need to kind of take a break from it. I need to pull back from this. I need time to myself. I just need time to step away and have a de-stress moment. I hate that I keep using romance, but it's just what keeps coming in. It doesn't have to be a romance situation, but if I start seeing somebody and I'm like, it starts getting more and more deep and more detailed, it's kind of like the de-stress example I would get from it is like, maybe I join some situation where I get together with certain friends, or maybe I go to a class once a week and there's a couple hours where I'm just doing stuff without my partner and I'm just centering on what I want to center on without even thinking about them, without even dealing with them, not in a negative way, but just like as a detox or as a release of pressure. Like I can just let myself be at peace without having them being a part of something, just so I can separate myself away, just so I can have that reset button, so I can feel like I'm tuning myself back to my song versus, maybe I'm getting too caught up in their song, if you will. Something like that. That might be the step away. That might be the, what does it say? Taking shelter. I keep feeling, it says taking shelter, but I keep feeling like taking breaks, taking small breaks. And that might actually bring you that long-term success. That might help with that long-term success, whatever this is. I feel like for those of you this is going to hit with, you're very interested in what the truth is. You want to be in control of the situation. You do not want the situation controlling you. So at the very least, this might be something that you kind of go down that road just to see where it goes and just to make your own decision. Doesn't mean you have to do anything. I feel like you already know that. But maybe just going down that road a little bit, unearthing some things, discovering a few things just might empower you or put you in a better position in life to where you could create more of what you want. Doesn't mean you have to go down this road at all, but at least looking down that road and kind of seeing like what is there might be enough to empower you to get what you actually want in life, just to be fair. Because I feel like the people coming to this, again, you're looking for the truth. There might be something here where you know something isn't quite right, and when this comes forward, it might be helping you unlock something to help you get it out of the way so it doesn't create this obstacle in your life that you don't really want anyway. So it's kind of like, if you're a person that likes being more on the single side of life, this does not mean you have to be in a relationship, but at least deconstructing something that might be holding you back, you might still go down this road, and just to deconstruct that doesn't mean you have to be in a relationship. So in case that comes across weird, I didn't want it to come across weird like that. I'm not trying to push it that way. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.